One of my primary focus has always been to encourage small businesses in our community. For 16 years I had my own small business and I was able to hire employees. And I think in Kansas particularly we need to encourage more small businesses to be developed and encourage people to explore entrepreneurship. One of my goals and one of my personal passions is to encourage entrepreneurship in children that's your age and younger children, because I think our future is going to be dependent on smaller businesses that are able to hire people and for people being more creative and coming up with business opportunities. So, but as far as like a legislator, recently I'm always supporting business opportunities and any type of initiation or legislation that would encourage business growth. So my goal is to pursue and to push as much opportunities for business as possible. And at the same time, like I said, try to get younger people involved in starting small businesses, because not only in Kansas or Wichita, but that's going to make our nation really succeed and go further. Well, I believe right now the priority for funding education, in my opinion, for the state of Kansas is a priority, and I think it would always be a priority. However, I think not only the schools, but the businesses and the state, we all have to kind of tighten our belts and make sure that we try to live within our limits too. Because right now we are in a recession and then jobs are being lost. And what that's happening, that directly affects our income for the state. And so as the state, we've taken a lot of initiatives to cut funding, like my legislative salary. They've cut it 10%. And some of the expenses with the government, as far as like health and disabled, those people are directly affected, and even they've suffered some cuts. So I think we all have to tighten our belts, but as far as education, I think it's a priority for myself and for the state of Kansas. I decided to run. I thought about running. Actually, I ran my first race when I was 14 years old. I ran for student council, vice president, and secretary. I ended up winning the secretary position. So I've always kind of had it in me, but I'm one of those type of people. I love to help people, and I figured being in this position, and what better opportunity to help people. I personally had some health issues back in 2004 and 2006, and during that time when I was ill, I had a hard time finding health care, and then I ended up having a lot of medical bills and financial problems because I had a pre-existing condition and I couldn't afford to get any health care. So later on I ended up suffering with kidney failure because I didn't have access to health care. So I decided if I ever got out of that situation, I started feeling better, I'm going to get off my butt and do something about it. And so that's why I ran for office, because I want to be someone in my community that's not afraid to speak up or speak out, and I want to be able to help as many people as I can. Today you find some people, they're just kind of laissez-faire on their positions, but I take this job very serious. When someone calls me with a problem, I try to make sure that they are assisted and helped, because you have too many people out there, sometimes they don't know where to go. And so I think the job of a good legislator is to make sure that you communicate with your people, you listen to them, and then you try to help them as much as possible. So that being my type of personality, my personality, wanting to help people, this position I think is just fit perfect for me, because I want to be able to help as many people as I can, particularly in my community. As I was saying before, I think it's important that our youth today make sure that they prepare themselves for the future and possibly get involved in their community and become leaders, because there's so many things that they can do out there to help people. Like I said, there's a lot of disabled people in our community, there's homeless people, there's families with children that need help, and so young people today, they can become really good leaders by getting out there and just helping and getting involved. I know we had talked about a little bit earlier about felons can vote. If I can leave a message with anyone that's out there that has a felony, I want them to know that felons can vote in Kansas. You just cannot be on paper. That means that you cannot be on probation and you cannot be incarcerated. But you do have the opportunity to vote, and you need to exercise your opportunity to vote in Kansas, because felons can vote. And don't let anybody tell you anything differently. If you're would like to know more, contact your local Department of Corrections or your Department of Elections in Sedgwick County here and find out for yourself. But I'm telling you, felons can't vote, and so don't let that stop you from getting out there and exercising your vote, because you may want to vote for someone that you think can really make a difference in your life, and the only way you're going to do that is by getting out there to vote. And so please share that with anyone that you know. If I could